To decolonize, the Stone and Grace definition of decolonization, or to decolonize, is the breaking down of antiquated, so old, outdated, no longer serving a purpose, no longer serving our current purpose, right? Systems, structures, and ways of thinking in order to build back better, anew, and create spaces and places that work for us all. Now, what does that mean, right? What does that mean? It's loaded. It's a lot. It's a two-part process. Decolonization I see it as a two-part process, right? The first piece is the deconditioning, the deconstructing of established, of those that are things that are already existence, right? Systems, so ways of operating, structures, institutions, things that have been built already, and ways of thinking, people, brains, minds, right? The deconditioning. And to decondition or to deconstruct, right? To de anything is not to undo, is not to anything, right? You can't undo the past. You can't undo what has been. What has happened has happened. It is there, right? What you can do, though, is move beyond it. You can't, we always say, let's unlearn something. I need to unlearn that. You can't unlearn anything, right? Once you have been exposed to something, once you have internalized something, right? There's no unseeing or unexperiencing. But what we can do is, there's no unconditioning, but there is deconditioning from it, right? There's moving beyond it, acknowledging what happened, saying, okay, that happened, or I acted that way, or I learned this thing. Now, how do I move past it? How do I move beyond it? Utilizing that information that you have around something having been in existence, so that you can move beyond it, make it better, make things better, make the way we operate better, right? So there's the deconstructing, the deconditioning piece. The second piece of decolonization is the building back better or new, right? And so creating the new path forward. You can't really decolonize, right, without showing or creating a new path forward. I think a lot of us are stuck in the past, right? And we say, well, this happened, and we need to tell everyone that this happened. And it's like, okay, well, we're revisiting the past, things that we can't change. But you know what we can change? We can change what we do now in the present, and that allows us to be able to change what happens going forward in the future. So how do we have a forward-looking path, a path forward, right, to move beyond the established system, structures, and ways of thinking? So if we're deconstructing and deconditioning, we also have to be engaging in this construction, this reconstruction, this what I call multicultural alchemy, right? So how are we creating the science, engaging in the science to create something that's going to work for us now and in the future, not just us being those that have current power, those that are seen as, the ones that should have power, should know it all, or whatever, right? Which has historically, over the past 600 years, been people who are descendant of Western Europeans or considered white, right? This idea of whiteness being supreme, or whiteness being right, and the white way of acting being the right way of acting. How do we move beyond that and really embrace the infinite way of being? Embrace not just monoculturalism, but multiculturalism. And how do we allow ourselves to engage in the alchemy, the science of putting that together and putting it out there, so that we're creating spaces and places that work for us all. The global majority, the majority of us, whether we're black or brown, female, right, or not a part of the 1%, white supremacy hurts us. It hurts all of us. And even those that are part of it hurts us all. None of these, the system of racism and oppression of others hurts us all. How do we find balance? How do we find an equilibrium that's going to allow, the majority of us to realize our version of success and thrive, and also allow us also to strive for all of us being able to thrive. I know that's a tough place to get to, right? Because there's so many dynamics at play that can hold people down and back. But, we have to try. That's what a vision is about. That's what hope and faith is about. How do we move beyond being led and driven by fear, being afraid and driving fear, to moving towards being driven and led by love? And how do you get there? You got to counteract the fear with courage. You got to counteract the fear with bravery. You got to counteract the fear with faith. You got to counteract the fear with hope. And ultimately, what you get to is counteracting the fear with its true opposite, which is love. Love.